All right, so this is the last of the Diddy doc. So in the last 2 episodes, they reflect on a lot of like things, and there's some of that new video that was exclusively showed in this documentary. So a part of this is Diddy having a conversation about reaching out when Dawn Richard filed her lawsuit. Remember that whole debacle? Mm-hmm. So they used the Breakfast Club to begin having a conversation about Diddy reaching out to people that were indicted or subpoenaed to potentially testify. Let's take a listen. He had been reaching out to witnesses who had been subpoenaed. They're able to track it, according to the prosecutors, allegedly, on a timeline where there were some people that were subpoenaed that Diddy hadn't spoken to in years, but after they were subpoenaed, he directly reached out to them. He was actually telling people, like, I'm not supposed to be talking to you. Don't text me. So he knew what he was doing was not right.
I got some recordings that I could let you hear as well.
Baby girl, for real, no pressure. You know, I just felt like me and you was close enough like that. I ain't never asked nobody to make a statement, you know what I'm saying? But I feel comfortable, and I feel comfortable with asking you because I know real deal that if it's a funeral that you'll be jumping in my casket.
Because I love you.
Because you really love me. You know
I really do.
And you know how I feel about you. But it's all good. Sometimes you got to put yourself and your family first, and I respect that.
Who was that talking?
So that was
you,
Diddy.
Lauren?
Yeah, so in the...
No, the girl. Who's the girl?
That was
you, Lauren,
right? The second girl he's talking about, that was Kalina
Yeah,
Harper. That was from Dirty Money. So remember when Dawn Richard had dropped her lawsuit and made all those allegations, Kalina was the person that people wanted to hear from because she would have been there and would have seen a lot of things. Right. And then she came out with that statement and said, I didn't see any of that. Basically, Dawn is lying, right? And people believed that she may have been like, encouraged to do that by Diddy. And those were voice messages that Diddy sent her once she had took some time responding when Diddy had reached out to ask her to release the statement. Now, let's go to Dawn Drops lawsuit where you hear Diddy, this is his own video recording, calling her to ask about that statement.
When Dawn drops her lawsuit, I get this call at 11 o'clock and he's panicking.
Dawn is dropping something, saying all types of crazy psycho No, she's not. With your name all in the this brokenness done got mother acting like mother. You know when zombies get big, I'ma send you the right this second. What's you talking about? I'ma definitely need you to go on the record. If I'm asking for a big favor. I never had a problem with this girl.
I read the 55-page lawsuit that Dawn had just filed, and my heart literally dropped on the floor.
Whatever statement, interview, this interview.
Granted, I'm dealing with my own situation. I am caught up in a contentious child custody battle. And now this, the only person I could call in the beginning was Puff, just trying to get help. I need you to help me get more powerful lawyers. I was like, I need $5K. I can pay you back. And at the time, he was like, I can't help because I'm doing something else.
Why is this nigga recording himself doing all this?
That's what 50 said in the GMA interview. Remember, he said, I can't believe he recorded some of this.
Like the level of arrogance.
Right.
The ego that one must have to be recording.
Or the trust that he had in the videographer that he doesn't
that ain't
know.
No trust. That's you thinking you still bigger than the program.
But look, wasn't he trying to come out with his own movie or documentary or something like that? So that's probably why he was recording all this.
But Diddy, I don't know if you got, y'all have been around him, even in a professional setting. He records everything. Like, that's just what he does all the time.
Who's been around him?
In a professional, he's come here to the Breakfast Club and he records behind the scenes.
But Lauren, this is supposed to be recorded.
Not
You're
behind
doing
the
an
scenes
interview.
Stuff
not behind the scenes and you trying to beat a case.
Look a little off.
This man didn't think that I don't think he thought any of this was going to happen. He didn't think he was going to end up behind bars.
Anyway?
You shouldn't be recording.
And when he came up here, he wasn't recording. When he came up to the Breakfast Club, he wasn't recording.
Now, he usually records when he comes
Whenever
up there.
I've been around him, he's always
He was
recording.
filming a reality show.
Reality show. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he was filming a reality
before. But let me ask you a question. So, she asked Diddy for $5,000.
Yeah.
And Diddy told her no?
Yes. So she was going back and forth with her husband about some custody situation, and she needed some money for an attorney, and Diddy told her no, but then turned around and called her and asked her to do this. And she did it. She released a statement. She said that she didn't hear nor see anything, and, she rode with him this whole time. Even in this documentary, she still says and talks about how much she loves him, but she said that was messed up because he wasn't there when she needed him. Okay. Now, there's another part that you are going to be like, why would he record this? So the day that Dawn drops this lawsuit, Diddy is coming up with strategy with his son Justin about how to show that Dawn actually is like one of his homegirls for real. Let's take a listen.
Hey, yo, you think we can hire an editor to go and find all the stolen clips? You're an editor, right? If you don't control your narrative, somebody else will control it.
The media war. Let me ask you positive comments.
Say any Dawn Richard interview where she speaks positively about her relationship with Diddy. He did a lot of interviews. Those interviews, they want to talk about me. You know what I'm saying? In the interview, so we know, like, if we could track down the interviews, we know she did right. We live in a real-time world. This case is going to be played in real time. It's going to be played in front of the public, billions of people in real time.
He's worried about all the wrong things. He is concerned about all the wrong things. It sounds like he's still obsessed about what his image looks like, as opposed to dealing with the reality of his situation. And that is, you are facing some real serious accusations. You've been accused of some real serious crimes. And, you know, you should be having a lawyer just doing his due diligence to fight that. But he's trying to manipulate everything behind the scenes.
But also in the documentary, it shows that he's trying to change his image because he's worried of what the jurors are going to see out there on him and feel like the jurors are going to be kind of leaning against him because what everybody's putting out there. That's why. And
because you're on video stomping out a young lady in the middle of a hallway after running down the hallway with just a towel on, looking like a goddamn madman.
But that's part of the reason why he's trying to change his image in the documentary.
How about clean your soul up? How about be on your knees praying for repentance, praying for forgiveness?
He didn't tape that.
How about sitting down and talking to a therapist? You know what I mean? Trying to get your ego right.
He didn't tape that part.
Like, what's going on?
He didn't record that part.
Well, there were other parts of the documentary as well, too. They alleged some things with him and Biggie, which, you know, we've heard a lot of back and forth about them over the years. But they alleged that Diddy actually used Biggie's money to pay for Biggie's funeral. Let's take a listen.
Sean assumed the position of his best friend in every article and publication, and that wasn't necessarily true.
And I'm going to be there for them, just like he would be there for them to make sure that they're all right.
Sean said, we're going to do the biggest funeral for Biggie that New York has ever seen. And we start to put that together. He starts to see the price. And he says, we're going to do the biggest funeral, but Biggie's going to have to pay for this funeral. He was going to make the funeral be a recoupable charge to Biggie in death.
This is one of my closest friends, and it's still one of my closest friends. I feel his loss. I just miss him so much.
Sean doing a big show looks good on him, but he's not going to tell the world that Biggie was going to pay for it.
He's probably one of the only people I had really trusted, like, for a long time. It's not a feeling that I really felt a lot, like, in my life.
I don't know about any of that, right?
That's crazy. I know Biggie, just finding out. I know he mad up there.
Yeah. Well, I reached out to the estate on some of the claims that were made to just see if they're going to say anything, even legally, because of where this kind of puts the conversation around just his legacy in general. But people are upset about some of the stuff that was added. People are really upset at 50 Cent.
Crazy.
And 50 Cent posted an hour ago. He says, I got a lot of ideas. Y'all on the dock. I'm already planning next year. I'm from Southside. We don't come to make friends. We come to take over. So, you know, in the midst of everybody being upset and questioning, I think he's saying, like, I hear y'all, but it doesn't matter. I'm doing what I'm doing regardless. And I know that you know, there's been a cease and desist that was sent to Netflix from Diddy's team, claiming that, you know, 50 Cent shouldn't have been the one to do it because he has, you know, this malice towards Diddy and people were paid, and Netflix is saying nobody was paid and there was never a deal with Diddy. So it's caused some fallout.
Yeah, but none of that has anything to do with the damage that Diddy did to himself. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can send out your cease and desist and, you know, say things were unauthorized, but you still recorded that. Those things still came out of your mouth. Those were your actions that we actually did see, regardless if it was, you know, legal to do or not. Diddy, I haven't seen the whole doc, but from the clips I've heard, he just comes off as a con artist. And you can't believe anything he says. Everything is an act. And if that man don't take the time to be still while he's in prison and clean up his soul, when he comes home, what happens to him is going to be worse than what's happening to him right now.
I wouldn't just say con artist. Watching that doc, he seems very selfish, very greedy, all about himself through that doc.
Like most con artists are.
And if you look at it, like, they break down a lot. We're going to open up the phone lines if you've seen the doc, 800-585-1051.
But isn't it also, like, it starts from him as a child and how he's in the hands of people who do the same thing, right? So you learn these behaviors, and I'm asking, like, y'all watched it. It's from
it talks about the doc and him learning. They say he learns things from his mother. Said he learned things from Andre Harrell. But it breaks down a lot. It talks about how, you know, Big didn't want to go to L.A. and kind of Puff wanted him to stay in L.A. It breaks that down. It breaks down the part that you know, Biggie was supposed to be going to Europe to do shows. Puff wanted him to stay, and it breaks down a lot. And it insinuates.
What that got to do with what he's in prison for, though?
It doesn't. This is just the documentary breaks down everything.
I think it just leans into the whole whole like power, money, control. He does what he wants to do, and he doesn't care about anybody's regard, and which is the sentiment of everything we just watched him go through in court with everybody that
And I'm just breaking down fast. Aubrey O'Day, she speaks about how Diddy sent her a message, and the message saying,
well, no, it was a woman who was at a party in Diddy's home that allegedly says she witnessed Diddy and a security guard sexually assaulting Aubrey O'Day.
Now, I was talking about the email that he allegedly sent her. Remember the email that she read?
Yeah, it's from that woman.
Oh, from that woman.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. But we're going to open up the phone lines, 800-585-1051. We're going to talk about the Diddy doc. If you've seen it, what were your thoughts? You got questions? Let's discuss, all right? But we got Donkey today up next?
Yes, we do. 4 after the hour, there's a man from Maine. Do you know anybody from Maine? Exactly. His name is Jose Harvey. He needs to come to the front of the congregation. We'd like to have a word with him.
All right, we'll get to that next. It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning.
Woke up. Wake you up. Wake that ass up. Program your alarm to Power 105.1 on iHeartRadio.